Good day, everybody. Today, I'm going to talk about farming or something like it. Those of you that have ever been to a farm before probably have seen, especially when it deals with animals, series of gates and you know, chutes and things like that for the animals, and that's to control them, right? You want to make sure you're doing what's best for them. And you're as well as your land. You want to rotate the pastures and make sure cattle are going from one area to another, so they're not overgrazing in one particular area, and they've always got a good food supply for them. And then you also have these corrals and gates because you want to separate some of them from the herd sometimes, and you want to take them and inoculate them for things, or you know you know, delouse them or whatever, um, as well as branding them to make sure that you can identify them later. So this is pretty commonplace. But who controls them? It's the farmer, right? The farmer knows what's best, and most farmers are pretty tough guys. They don't take no guff. And one of the things for sure is they don't take anything from any of their livestock either. It's nothing for a farmer to, and it's not to say that, this is a 2,000 pound plus animal, when the 150-pound farmer, gives it a kick, probably not much more than a fly, to us. But either way, they make sure that, and I've seen some of that stuff on farms, cattle prods and whips and sticks or whatever, on the farms that I worked on when I was a kid. So not uncommon out there. Maybe that affects some, animal rights people, whatever. Anyway, the bottom line is that the farmers always know what's best, and they will not take any shit from the livestock as to where they're going to go. Well, folks, welcome to being livestock. This is pretty much how we're being treated today. Like a bunch of idiots. Everybody knows what's best for you except for you. You definitely don't know what's best for you. This is why you're being told to wear masks, even in places where it doesn't make sense. You're being told that, gyms should lock down in places where, that's not where people are at higher risk. I would figure when people are standing elbow to elbow at Costco, they're at much higher risk of getting something than when they're standing 20 feet apart at the gym, taking care of their health. But hey, who am I? I'm just an idiot, I guess. You're being told where to go. You got arrows on the floors at the stores. You're being told what to do in your day-to-day life. You can't have your family over. Hell, seems like the politicians, they know what's best for you. They'll tell you what you can do. While they jet away and take off to whatever, tropical paradise they want to go to, they can do that without too many repercussions. And I thank Jason Kenney for at least holding some people's feet to the fire and asking for their resignations. At least one politician in this country has done something. But the bottom line is they're still the gatekeepers, so to speak. They're the ones that are going to tell you what you're going to do and what you can do and what you can't do. And they're going to be the ones that are having the police enforce their stupid draconian laws to make sure that you are going exactly where they want you to. And they're going to tell you exactly what you can and can't do. I've seen a few Facebook posts the other day about, people wanting to go back to normal, or, talking about the new normal. This is exactly the line of thinking they want. You thinking that there should be a new normal to life. Well, guess what, folks? Even the Spanish flu that was supposedly the worst ever, and yes, it killed a lot of people, guess what? It never went away anywhere. It's still here all the time. We hear about it all the time. If you've ever heard of H1N1, well, it didn't go anywhere. It's still here, and we've learned to live with it. For decades. We have lived with it. It wasn't the apocalypse, and it didn't kill everyone. And year after year, none of us do anything about it, with the exception of a few people going to get their flu shots. And the rest of us suffer through it and, deal with whatever it comes with it if we contract it. but it hasn't been the death of our entire society or our way of life in the past. But we seem to be eager to make COVID the death of our old way of life. We're ready to accept a new norm, and that new norm is going to be whatever the politicians tell you that new norm has to be. What's it going to be? Wearing masks forever? Never going out to a restaurant? For certain, the new norm is likely going to include you being forced to have a vaccination and you never going out to the bar again to have a few drinks with your friends or going out to a restaurant to enjoy a meal together. That probably will not be the new norm ever again. Not without some sort of ridiculous controls in place just to keep you in the right amount of fear, having that right amount of fear that you're going to listen to whatever it is that they tell you to do. Jump, and you ask how high. Now, bear in mind all of these things that are going on right now. A year ago, these were what people like myself would say, and most people would say, you're a conspiracy nut. That'll never happen. Hell no, I'd never do that if they did that. But you guys are all going along with it. You have no problems because they took it just a little bit. They took that inch a little bit at a time. And you've given in every time. You've never stood up for yourself, and you've never said, no frickin' way. So just remember, all of the conspiracy theories that you hear out there, from the U.S. election meddling and the COVID stats and everything else that are out there and the vaccine stats, these are all conspiracy theories. Just keep telling yourself that. And you're going to be willing to step back another inch every time they impose some new law or some other way of stripping away your rights. Just keep stepping back. Slowly. That's all I got to say. Remember, today's conspiracy theory is going to be tomorrow's conspiracy fact. And you're going to step right into it because you're going to keep backing up. Have a wonderful day.